Hey friends, it's Megan, Georgia Girl Stitching here on YouTube and on Instagram. It is Sunday, October 6th, and I'm back for finally my next video. It has been far too long. I appreciate all of you who are either checking me out for the first time or my returning viewers. I really appreciate you all being here and seeing what I've been up to for the last almost 2 months. So it has been a whirlwind. I'm gonna keep my life update at the end like I've started doing. But yeah, it's been crazy. But thankfully I've been able to still get stitching in for the most part. There have been a few weeks where very little got done, but overall I've been able to get a lot done, or at least progress on the projects that I'm focusing on. So for this video, I've got an FFO, I've got a start, a few whips, a giveaway, some Destash that I want to talk about, some fun gifts, and a giveaway at the end as well. And then I'll do my life update at the very end in case you're not really interested in that, which I totally understand. So I'm gonna start with actually thanking a couple of FlossTubers who I've seen like shout me out recently. And if there's others, please let me know so I can properly thank them too. But there's two that I know of that have shouted me out, and that was Tiger Lily Designs did a shout out last week about my autumn Quaker pumpkins from Hellos from Liz Matthews. I did a word conversion for that, so she shouted me out in my Gumroad, where you can get that free conversion if you'd love. So I really appreciate her mentioning me there. And then also Renewing Stitches is stitching one of my designs, so I appreciate her stitching my designs and also talking about it. So appreciate you guys. If there's anyone else, please let me know. I have one FFO, and it goes with a little bit of a story, but so I live in Williamsburg, Virginia, and we have a LNS here, local needlework shop, Liberty Hill Needleworks, and Susan is absolutely lovely. Everyone who works there is lovely, and so I've kind of been able to be part of the family there, and it's been so nice coming from somewhere that didn't have or coming from Cincinnati, which has like one of the LNSs, to then no LNS for quite some time and back to having LNS. It's been amazing. And there's everyone who works there is amazing. On Wednesdays, they have like long day stitches. So I actually got to meet Amy Loves Toads that day, one of those days, which was super fun. But I really gotten to, know Susan pretty well. And I took this design in that I finished. So this is one of my newest designs, a Williamsburg welcome, inspired by my time now living here. And Susan, the owner, FFO'd it for me. So this was completely done by her. She came up with everything, and I love everything she did with it. I was saying that I was thinking about getting it framed, and she was like, well, if you'd be willing, I'd love to like finish that into a pillow for you. And I'm like, that's perfect. That'd be a perfect finish for me. So she chose everything. The fabric she got, I believe, at Joann's, and then the chenille is, I have it right here. She said the trim used is Union Color hand-dyed chenille by Lady Doc Creates. And then the backing fabric was from Joann's. But what's also really special is these buttons are from her grandmother's collection. So really special that she added there as well. Kind of some antique buttons to go with kind of an antique-y feel of this design. So I really appreciate Susan. If you ever have any pattern, fabric, anything needs, I highly recommend giving them a call. They're also very active on Facebook. They have a Facebook page that she's very active on. And she has an incredible story herself of how she's gotten here. So definitely give Susan a call. And in addition to that, finishing this pillow, she is also now starting to carry my designs. So I did a print run of designs pre-2024 are now in her shop. So this one's not there yet as a paper pattern. I'm working on it. I'm working with the printer to get another round of a few patterns done. So this one, Beach Quaker, is not there yet. no, Lighthouse. Beach Quaker is, Lighthouse Quaker is not. There's a few that are not quite there yet. She did a Facebook post that has like what designs of mine are there, but most of them are. So if you're interested in a paper pattern, check out Liberty Hill. They'll probably have it. And then this one will be there relatively soon. I'm working on it. So yeah, so I just wanted to say a huge shout out to Susan for supporting me in so many ways. And she does a lot for the community as well. She supports a lot of floss tubers and designers, and she's just a fabulous lady. So yeah, so that's my FFO. I love it so much. I have it perched in my craft room now. So yeah. And then I have one new start that I started on PSL Day. So Starbucks every year has a day where they release all of their pumpkin flavored things. And I am a huge lover of the pumpkin spice everything. I'm one of those. So I absolutely love the pumpkin spice lattes and pretty much anything they have that's pumpkin spice. So to honor my holiday, I started Shannon Christine's Autumn Drinks, which I'll put a mock-up here. This was one of her freebie patterns from not freebie. It's one of her designs if you're one of the subscribers. So I subscribe to her, basically Patreon, but it's not via Patreon. It's either on her website or on Facebook. So this is one of her featured designs. And I'm stitching it on 40 count limited edition color and cotton from like 2019, 2018. And this is as far as I got. I started in the center with the pumpkin drink. And if you've been with me for a really long time, back in I think 2020, I stitched Shannon Christine's pumpkin spice latte design. This is the same fabric that I used for that. It's kind of blown it out a little bit, but this is as far as I've gotten so far. So much fun to stitch. And I worked on it for a couple of days after pumpkin spice latte day, and then put it away, but so much fun. We'll see if this comes out again this year. I might have to wait. I have thoughts and plans for the rest of this year, and I don't know if this will be on there, but I did really enjoy stitching it as I did. And then I have 5 whips that I've worked on as well. So the first one I worked on is Hammock at Sunset by X Stitch Cross Stitch. One of my full coverage designs. I'm stitching this on 22 count Aida. And for this one, I'm actually gonna put in a before picture of where you saw it last time. And this is where we are now. So I made a good bit of progress on it. I worked pretty hard right after my last video to try to, I really wanted to fill in this section. So I really focused on that. And then I started doing Stitchin' Mommy's typewriter method, where I was starting up here, seeing what the next symbol was, and then working the color down. Because a lot of this stitch is 2 or 3 away from the end of the pattern. So I'm like almost at the edge of the design. So I just kind of started working my way down with different colors. And it's just, it's so pretty. I really want to get more of this done. This isn't currently on my plans to work on again, but it might have to be. I just love it. So finally getting into that palm tree. I have been like really itching to start another full coverage, which I have no business doing, but I want to do one of those like big full coverages. Like for me, what would be like a lifelong full coverage from like the Cross Stitch Studio, or even Artisy has some like lifelong full coverages that are beach related. So those are definitely on, I'm having a hard time not thinking about them. So at some point I just need to start one, but like kitting those up is no small feat. So, but anyway, I'm like, let me finish this one. Once I finish this one, then I can treat myself to like kitting up a huge one. Is kind of my current thought. So that's where we are now. Okay, and then next one, I love this one so much. I'm obsessed, and every time I see Laura Stitching by the Shore working on it, I want to work on it again. This is my Shores of Hawker and Hollow. This is the original. And then this is a mock-up of all of my changes. And I'm making quite a few changes. And if you're interested in any of these changes, let me know and I'll send them to you. But here's where I'm at on it. This is on 40 count platinum. And I'm trying to remember, I think last time I had finished this block. So since then, I have started working on this block. Let me bring it up closer. So the first 2 blocks have been done. Were done last year. When I started it, I got the first 2 blocks done. And then this year I started my original goal was that I was gonna finish the middle block. So I'd have year 1, year 2, and then finish up with year 3. But once I started once I actually got started on this, I realized this is overwhelming to me to finish this year, especially starting residency, and it just was too much. So then I was like, well, these are let me go down to this block because these are little finishes. And I finished this block so quickly that I was like, okay, this is reasonable. If this was reasonable enough to finish, then this one is too. So my goal for this year is to finish this block this year. So then next year I can work on this block and finish up the design. So that's where we're at. Also, I wanted to make sure that I was gonna have enough. I don't know what happened here cutting wise, but we made it through. But yeah, so this is what I worked on since last time you saw it. And I actually finished the 3 of the colors too, which was fun in this block. So yeah, that's where we're at. If you have any questions or want any of my floss conversions or any changes I've made, feel free to let me know. I think I said it's on 40 count platinum. And it's a whole mishmash of DMC, Color and Cotton, Classic Colorworks. It's like a mishmash of everything. I've got Threadworks. I don't think I have any silks in here. But yeah. So there's that one. And then I got on a little bit of a kick. Or there was one day that I wasn't feeling working on I don't remember what I had on my Q-snap, but I was not feeling that one. I was like, I kind of want to I need to start chipping away. I'm far behind on Whip Go. I'm so far behind. So I was like, let me make a little bit of progress on one of my Whip Go pieces. And I looked at what I had and I was like, you know what? I kind of feel like working on this one. Let me work on this one. And this one is 1 down, 3 across from Long Dong Samplers. This is the original. And then this is a mock-up of all of my changes. I'm doing a complete color conversion. And I'm doing it on 32 count raw silver 1/1. And this is where we're at. So before I had the F and some of the R done. And now I got the rest of the R done, the I, and most of the E, and been working on the border. And it's super hard to get this to show up. I guess you can kind of see that. The green is a toile. A toile 6.99 is the green. And then the red is going to be a toile 8.16. And then Merry and Christmas are going to be backstitched in something shiny. Right now I have the DMC Light Effects kitted up to backstitch because they're thin enough. My concern with Petite Treasure Braid and stuff like that is it's just too thick. But the Light Effects are so thin that right now that's what I have kitted up to backstitch, but we're very far away from having to worry about that. So this is where we're at right now. And I had so much fun working on it. Oh, that fabric is really showing how shiny it is. My goal for this year, because I will work on this again at Christmas time, is I definitely want to finish the word friends. At least get 1 word in this year, because I started this around Christmas last year. I don't remember the exact date, but I started it late last year, and I definitely want to at least get a word in this year. I did make a few changes in the scenes, the little the white scenes that are around. I made a few changes to just add a few religious symbols to make it more Christmassy for me. Above the moose, I added the North Star. In the church, I put I just did an outline of a cross. So there's a few minor changes like that just to add a little more religious symbolism to it. But But overall, I mostly just changed the colors. So yeah, I love it. Get back to it. There's that one. And then this one is another one that, this is really the video of all my changes. So this one, I talked about pretty extensively in my last video, but I am working, my parents have their 30th wedding anniversary next March. So to honor that, I took a design, Tree of Life by 2x2 stitch art, and mostly kept it. I took out borders and I changed all the colors to make it more like my parents. And then I added a few things as well. So it's easier just to like show you. So this is the original from 2x2. And then this is my mock-up of what I've changed. So I changed all the colors. And then in the outer, and then the border or the circle, I added all of their information. And then in the corners, I guess, or the sides, I added the lover's knot, Celtic knot. And that's both of my parents' wedding bands are gold with that knot cut throughout. So that's their wedding bands. And then I added the 30 in there for wedding 30. And then the outside I made in the white. And thank you for everyone who reminded me that the 30th anniversary, the thing, you know, every anniversary has like a thing, like 10 years is 10, first anniversary is paper. Well, the 30th is pearl. And so I made it white for pearl. And also that's what my name means in Celtic. Megan means pearl. So it kind of all comes together. We're all in there. So I'm stitching this on 40 count color and cotton frost. And here's where I got to. So I was able to finish this part of the tree, like connect it all. And I got one of the knots done. I wanted to get all the colors in, so I went down and took a break from the tree and got one of the knots in. It's showing up really well in person in the video, and it shows up pretty well in person. This is not as harshly like distinct as it is on camera. Actually, it looks really good on camera. In person, it's not as easy to distinguish. So right now I'm actually considering back stitching in like the slightly darker. So this is like 3820 and 3820 and 3822. And I'm thinking of taking like 3824 or whatever, one of the darker shades, and like back stitching around. We'll see. I mean, that looks really good. I wish it looked that good in person. It looks good. It's just not as distinct. So we'll see. But overall, I'm loving this. I would love to be able to get this done in time for their anniversary. So I'm kind of chipping away at it every month to try and get it done. It is a true circle. I even tried putting it in the Q-snap again. It is round. This like is a little wide just how I have it in the Q-snap, but when you take it out and iron it, it is a true circle. So yeah, so I'm loving this. The 30 I'm gonna do in some kind of like metallic. I'm not sure which metallic. What metallic would you all recommend for 40 count? Like I feel like Petite Treasure Braid would be like too thick. But what would you guys use for a smaller count? What metallic thread? Because I haven't tried yet, but I haven't done a metallic on a 40 count before. So, right? Yeah, no. No, I've done a toile, but I haven't done metallic. So I'm interested in what you guys would do. But yeah, that's where we're at. I'm loving it. It's so much fun to stitch. So much fun. And then the back stitch will go quickly. So yeah. That's where we are on that. And then last but not least, one that I've been working, oh no, I have two more. I'm wrong. No, I have one more. This is my last one that I've worked on over the last few weeks. This is my last design that I'm currently like model stitching. It's my last model stitch that I have. I've been trying to design, but it just hasn't been working so far. But this is Nautical Flags Alphabet. Oop. And I am so close to being done. I love stitching this one so much. This has become like my travel stitching when we travel. Since the last time you saw it, I got U, V, W, and I'm working on X. So I got 3 more flags in, and I'm working on X, and then I just have Y, Z, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then we're done. So we're getting there. I think I'm at like 80% complete. Oh, it's so much fun to stitch. It's just block stitching back and forth, back and forth. This is on 40 count anthracite. And I just love it. It just pops so nicely off this fabric. Those like primary colors just pop so well. So I'm super excited to have this one finally done. So yeah, and this one's also really nice at night when I'm like brain's dead. I just pull this out and just go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So that's where we're at. That's all that I've worked on. So plans wise, we've got 3 months left of the year. A lot of people are doing different challenges, like 3 months to the finish line. I've heard about people have different games going. And I wish I could participate in stuff like that, but it's just not reasonable for me to actually complete challenges or commit to a daily something. Like it's just not reasonable for right now in my life. One day hopefully, but as of right now, I do more like overall goals. By the end of the year goals kind of work better for me. So by the end of the year, I have 4 goals. One is I want this done. I want this done sooner rather than later. I think I wrote it down. I have 2,300 stitches left on this. So I'm hoping I'm going to be pretty focused on this one to get this one done. I want to say by Thanksgiving. I want this done by Thanksgiving. So that's my plan for this one. And that'll be the last of my designs that I'm currently stitching, or that like need to be stitched. So that's exciting. I think everything else has been model stitched. So there's that. Other plan is this one. In order to have this done by my parents' anniversary, I have to do 1,450 stitches a month to get this one done by the time their anniversary. So that's my goal for October, November and December, to get 1,400 stitches in per month. Which, like, I could even break that up. This would be something maybe like I do 100 stitches a day, you know, for 2 weeks or whatever. If I can just, that's 14 days of 100 stitches. So I'm hoping that that's reasonable. Or if I have a really good stitchy day, you know, or something, day off. I don't know. But that's my goal overall, is 1,400 stitches on this a month. And then the other 2, then there's 2 that I actually want to like finish. So I just told you about this one. This one, I want this block done by the end of the year. I want this done by the end of the year. This one I have 3,700 stitches left on this one. And a lot of that's just like that water fill in. So that might be a little bit tougher, but I would love to get this block done, and then I can just work on this block next year is my hope. So we'll see. That's goal 3. And then my last goal is, this has been on my goal to finish since the beginning of the year, so I really should do it. This is my Celebrate Christmas from Madame Chantilly, and I am dying to get this one done by the end of the year. All I have left is this tray and then some back stitching. This is on 40 count water green linen. I am not doing the words at the bottom. I'm just doing the tray. And all I have left is the bottom tier. I did substitute some white etoile in for the white, and then etoile 8/16 for the red. So you can kind of see it sparkle there. Especially if you compare these 2 mugs, you can tell the difference. So this has the etoile and this is just B5200. But yeah, so I'd love to get this done. I'm actually planning, I have a couple days off this week. I'm going to rechart. So it's all, Madame Chantilly really only has paper patterns, and then the PDFs, if you buy them from her, she watermarks them, so it's really hard to get them into Pattern Keeper. At least I've had trouble getting them into Pattern Keeper. So I think I'm gonna rechart just the bottom tier, like whatever I have left, into like my max stitch, and that way I can have it in Pattern Keeper and see how much like I actually have left. Because it's not a small amount of stitching for sure. Like just the sign is gonna be a lot. So we'll see, but I might just do that. Just also so I can like tick it off and feel like I'm making progress. It's also easier to stitch out of Pattern Keeper than a paper chart. I've become like, if something's not able to be in Pattern Keeper, it's very hard for me to work on it. Like it's just so much easier to work off of Pattern Keeper. So that's that goal. So I want that absolutely done. So those are my 4 goals for the last stretch of the year. And then we'll just kind of see what I end up working on around that. I can see myself getting pretty monogamous with these 4 pieces. You know what I mean? Like focused on these 4 pieces because I have these goals. It would also bring it down to, if I could finish those 2, I'd be back under my 30 whips. And like 30 is kind of like my max that I'm comfortable with. And I'm at 31 right now. So I really am like feeling, but I also want to start like, there's like 4 things I want to start. And it's like, just start them, Megan. It doesn't matter. But it's also like my comfort level. It's like if I have all of these new starts, then I'm not working on things, they're not getting done. And I'm definitely like a product stitcher. Like I only start things that I like would one day want in my house or as a gift or something. So I need to sit and focus. But 30's like my max comfort zone. So we'll see. Hopefully I could like maybe get Shores of Hawk Run done pretty early in the year next year. Like that might be a focus until it's done. Because once I finish that block, I think I'll have like 6,000 stitches left in that middle block. So that's reasonable. You know, that's a reasonable finish earlier in the year. So we'll see. I have not fully nailed down my 2025 plans yet. I'm definitely thinking about them. I'm starting to at least. Kind of thinking about now that I have a better handle on my schedule and what my life kind of looks like, I can kind of be more realistic with my goals. What I'm kind of playing with right now, so what I did this year for Whip Go was I put all of my pieces on my Whip Go board, minus a few, because I had 28 going into it and there's only 25 spots. So a couple of them didn't make it, but I always had like the goal, I want to touch every single one of my pieces every year. And then that way I've at least made like some forward progress on them. I struggle to do that because then like when it gets called, I'm like, I don't want to work on that this month. And so I push it down the line and like I still have some from March that I have not worked on. You know, it's like, and then I kind of need to evaluate, do I still want to work on them? Do I still want them as whips? And for the most part, yes. There's a couple that I'm like teeter-tottering on. But for the most part, like, yes, I want them. So, but what I'm kind of thinking next year, instead of putting that kind of pressure on myself of like, these 2 got called, you need to work on it, I think I'm going to choose like 12 whips or something, or a certain number that I'm going to focus on. And not that I would like only work on one a month or anything like that, but just like, these are the 12 that you're dedicating this year to, and get as much progress in as you can, and hopefully finish some of them, and like always have 12. So if I finish one, then I can bring another one in to focus on or something. It's kind of where I'm at right now, and not have any like concrete plans, just have focuses. So it's kind of where I'm thinking, because I have some whips from like 2021. That 12 by 12, New Year's Eve 12 by 12 from 2021 really did a number on me. Like I had 12 new starts on New Year's Eve of 2021, or was it 2020 into 2021? No, it was 2021. 12 new starts that like, I'm still reeling from that, and like barely worked on those, and I want to work on them, but I'm like, now I'm like kind of paying the price. Now I have all these whips from 2021 that I have not finished. So maybe focusing on those, or I don't know. I've got a lot of thoughts. I haven't nailed anything down. But yeah, so that's kind of where we're at least for this year, getting those 4 goals, and then just kind of seeing what else I can sneak in the meantime. If I can finish those two earlier on, maybe I can have a start at the end of the year or something. So I don't know. We'll see. I do like to do a new year, new start, and I haven't thought about what that's going to be yet. I don't know. So yeah, that's where we're at on plans. I had a couple of stitchy kindness. So my dear friend Taylor, who is a Cincinnati friend, she sent me a lovely care package. I was having tough weeks and she sent me such a nice care package, and she sent some stitchy things in there too. So I wanted to give them their due diligence. These gorgeous blues from Weeks Dye Works, Blue Bonnet and Santa Cruz, which are just gorgeous. And she sent me a tacky bill with my favorite puppy paw print paper, which I always use more of these. So thank you, Taylor, along with a bunch of other yummy things in the box, which super appreciated. So there is that. And then, from Liberty Hill when I went, I also bought the Lighthouse. This is one of my favorites from the series. I would definitely do some color changes. I would not stitch it with those colors. I would brighten it up with like brighter blues. Maybe even using like a Santa Cruz on it or something. But I love this. I now have 4 in the series. I love this entire series. So got that from Liberty Hill. And then those missing stitches is just fabulous. So she also has a FlossTube. Definitely check out those missing stitches. She has a fabric shop on Etsy, and I love her fabric. I have a couple of her pieces now, and she does like a monthly, quarterly. She has different fabrics that she offers at different times of the year. If there is one that you want that's not part of the normal, that's not offered, but like you know about it from the past, she will still like dye them. It's just gonna take time. Like these are like ready to ship kind of things, versus like I have Compelling Conscious, which I love Compelling Conscious. I have a piece on that, and she was saying like I could still order that. It just would take a longer period of time because they're not like in her shop right now, if that makes sense. So she's lovely. I got the fabric of the month. That month was Earnest Emma, and it is this gorgeous light blue, like, yeah, it's pretty much that bright, maybe slightly lighter, with some darker areas. It's maybe like making it a little brighter than it is, but it is a very wonderful bright blue. And so I got a piece of this. Oh, so pretty. And it's this 40 count. She sent a second one for one of you lovely people. So this is also our giveaway this month, is Earnest Emma 40 count. It's a fat quarter. It's 18 by 27 linen and 40 count. So if you would like to be entered into this giveaway, use the word earnest. It's a fun word to use. So use the word earnest, and at my next video, who knows when that will be, hopefully in a reasonable amount of time, in my next video, I'll call a winner for that and get that out to you before the end of the year, hopefully. So if you're wanting this for your new year, new start, I should have it out before the end of the year for sure. So yeah. So thank you so much. Sue, I love all of your fabric, and I'm so happy that I can share it with you guys now too. So love it. She also sent this like really nice like floss tag as a thank you, or floss card with the zipper pull as a thank you. So lovely. And then for my giveaways from my last video, I only heard from one person for all of those giveaways. So if you entered into my previous giveaway with all the different patterns and the bag and everything, and you haven't had a chance to watch it, I would at least go to the end of that video. Actually, do I have their names? Yes, I have the names. So if you are Cabin Stitcher 0804, Teresa Chuckle 5362, Willow Coulter 8274, or Stitchy Tamara, please email me at georgiagirlstitching@gmail.com with your address so I can get your giveaways out to you. I really want to do like a batch send off because I have a couple others that I know are waiting on me. But it's just hard for me I just want to do it all at one time if I can. So you have until my next video. If I haven't heard from you by then, I'm going to choose new people. So that's it for giveaways. Let's see. I do have a Destash Instagram page, Georgia Girl Destash. It's listed down below. I have a lot of fabric and charts on there. So if you're interested in any of that, definitely give that a check. A lot of color and cotton fabrics that I just don't see myself stitching on. 32 counts. I'm kind of more in the 40 count, 46 count range now. So definitely check that out. And I think that's all of the stitchy stuff. So again, thank you guys so much for coming. If you're not interested in any of the life stuff and you're just here for stitchy stuff, thank you so much for checking me out. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you'll stop back by for my next video. I try to do these monthly. I'm hoping I can, especially with Thanksgiving coming up next month. I'm hoping I can get back to my monthly schedule. But check me out on Instagram. I always post there when I make a video. And have a great week or have a great month if you're not interested. So, life. So I think my last video was August 15th. So that's been almost 2 months now. I'm on 2-week rotations. If you're new, I'm a pediatric resident here in Virginia. So physician in training for board. I'm graduating med school and now I'm training to become pediatrician. So I'm on 2-week, bi-weekly rotations. Overall, they've been fantastic. Still really loving it. Some very long, hard days, especially on inpatient. I had 2 weeks in the NICU, which were extremely rewarding, but also extremely tough. I definitely still want to do that, though. I really want to go into neonatology, and that kind of reaffirmed that. But overall, it's been a really good experience. David's doing really well with everything that he's doing. I've been able to see him quite a bit. We've gone stretches, few weeks, and then see him for a while. But I was able to go down over Labor Day and spend that whole weekend with him. And then at the end of last month, or I guess a week ago, 2 weeks ago, at the end of my NICU rotation, we went to the Keys for a week. So we had our first vacation. We spent it with 2 of our closest friends. It was the husband's birthday and then their wedding anniversary. It was the couple that a year ago, they got married and David officiated and I was in the bridal party, basically second in command for maid of honor. So they're very special to us. So we met up with them. We went down to Islamorada, spent the week in Islamorada. We did have a little bit of winds and some rain from the Hurricane Helene. And I do want to say, if you are affected in any shape or form from Hurricane Helene, my thoughts and prayers are absolutely with you, and my own family was affected by it. So I hope you're getting all of the help that you need and the support that you need and that everything is manageable. Because we were not directly affected in the Keys that week. We definitely got some strong winds and some showers, but overall ended up passing by us. My mom and my dog, one of my dogs and one of their dogs, was in Waynesville, which is just south of Asheville. They have a house there, and mom was there for the week, and she was stuck in the hurricane. Thankfully, it ended up all being okay, but they got some flooding in the basement, and the videos that she took of the water just surrounding the house, and they almost lost the car. It was scary, and we didn't have contact with her for almost 48 hours. So it was a very scary experience, just not knowing. And I can only imagine what other people have experienced with that. Dad was able to get up there to her and help her. Waynesville there's Waynesville south. Oh gosh, I always forget. It's southeast of Asheville. It's about 30 minutes south of Asheville. And so Dad was actually able to get up there, but then I lost contact with him for 24 hours. So and we were trying to get back from the Keys at the same time. We came back that Saturday, and it was crazy. And they had both of our dogs because they were watching our dogs for us. And it was a lot of just unknown scariness. And turned it out being okay for them. The house is getting worked on now and will be okay. But yeah, it's just kind of a roller coaster of everything, and seeing the devastation of Asheville, which is an extremely special place for our family. That whole area is just extremely special, and seeing the devastation there is absolutely heartbreaking. So if you are affected or know someone affected, you know, we are definitely thinking about you and praying that you get the help that you need. So went through that, and then we actually drove down. We did a round trip to Atlanta. They still have the house in Atlanta, so they were able to get back to Atlanta and kind of stay there. And so we drove down right after we got back from the Keys and went and picked up the dogs and saw them and hugged them tightly, and then had to come back for work. So yeah, so that was kind of crazy. And then David was just here this weekend, and I'm going down for a couple days this week where I have days off, and then I start nights. So I'm back. I'm gonna be lost to the world for the next 2 weeks, working fully nights. But yeah, it's just kind of a crazy time right now in general, just life of, I don't have a consistent routine. I don't have a consistent like anything right now. Kind of just flying by with the flavor of the week. Still loving where we live. It's a great place, great community here. So overall things are well. They're just very, just random. I don't know how it's like, every rotation has a very different schedule, a very different thought process. And David's job keeps, you know, he's got different trips and he's doing a lot all the time. So yeah, so we're just kind of in a crazy season right now. Overall, all is well. It's just trying to figure out, you know, how best to manage everything. So as we all are, I feel, you know, it's just how life is sometimes. But yeah, so that's enough rambling for me, I guess. We are, I should be back hopefully within a month, hopefully by the, maybe even at the end of this month, we'll see. I do work over Thanksgiving, but I get a couple of days off around Thanksgiving, but most likely I will be working Thanksgiving. So won't have really any family around that time. But if I can get it, hopefully I'll be back before that though, because that would be over a month. So we'll see. Just doing the best we can here. But I hope you all are doing well. I hope you all are stitching well and living the best life that you can right now. And I appreciate your support and love. And I will hopefully see you very soon. Happy stitching, friends.